MySpace is the best social media app to ever been created.
I agree. Hot take.
Hot take, baby! Hot take! Hi, I'm Josh Owen. As the owner of a video marketing company in New Orleans, I've been on the quest to learn everything I can about marketing. Everyone has a different style, different strategy, and a different experience. Is there a wrong way to do it? A right way to do it? Let's find out together as we make marketing make sense. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Make Marketing Make Sense. I'm here with the most fabulous Dom Lewis, and what are you, a tricker, flipper? What do you go by?
Well, professional tumbler and martial arts tricker, but you can shorten it with tricker, yes.
Okay, tricker.
Sometimes when people hear that word, especially like older people, they think that's something else.
You playing like tricks? Those are just for kids, though. You know? So we're here to talk about growing and maintaining growth on social media, which I know you've had quite the meteoric rise within your social media on your Instagram. Where are you at right now?
Kind of all across the board, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I mean, I use them all, but my main two would be Facebook and TikTok,
Nice.
numbers wise. But
Okay, nice. And right now, when did you get started? Like, what was your start? How'd you get started?
so I started my Instagram in 2011. And yeah, so it was like early Instagram.
Early days.
It was only pictures, no videos. And so I started by just like posting pictures of me like doing flips and stuff. Like, so I'm like, this looks cool. And my other flipping friends will think this is cool to look at. And then once video came to Instagram, I'm like, well, now I can post like the real stuff. So I can post my videos.
Yeah.
And so it was just like videos of my friends and I like training in the gym, stuff like that. And it was all just for fun, not to become anything. So like social media influencers weren't a thing yet, and like being a content creator wasn't a thing yet. So it was just posting just to post. And like all of a sudden one day overnight, and it didn't even happen on my Instagram. It was on Facebook. I had posted a video that like blew up, and then it all kind of went from there. But the start was literally just post some videos, post pictures, and then post videos for other friends who flip just to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel like that was like the early 2000s. Like everybody was just trying out their thing, just doing it for fun. Yeah. And then next thing you know, fun turns into a job down the road. And all of a sudden, and then now you got a fun job, you know, and you're living it up.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people I feel like are still to this day saying like, man, how do I want to get there? Like I want to grow. For you, what were some of the key moments, along your journey to getting to the followers you have right now, to being able to say like, that was like a big moment in my, like at the big jumps.
So starting in 2011 with all that stuff, when things actually started to like blow up was 2015. And I still remember when this happened because some cheerleading company had sent me a shirt to wear in a video, and they were like, hey, can you just like do some flips in this? I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So I posted this video on Instagram, and then I posted on Facebook. When I posted on Facebook, like, it was really random. Like 2 weeks later, out of nowhere, all of a sudden the video has like millions and millions of views. And this is like early on in Facebook where that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is going on right now? And so it was really bizarre where like this video blew up. And then from that one video, a bunch of things just started happening. Fox Sports randomly did a segment on me. Didn't even ask me to do it, actually. They just, like, one day...
They just showed up and knocked on your door. Hey, we're Fox News, come
it was,
on
like,
in.
really random. Like, a friend of mine sent me a video, and they're like, hey, this video's all about you. And I look, and it's, like, Fox Sports, and they're like, they're talking about me, and it's a whole compilation of my videos.
They just ran a whole segment on you?
Yep, and I had no clue.
God.
No clue. And so there was that, and then someone from Red Bull had reached out to me after that as well, like asking me to start doing some acrobatic judging internationally. And so, I mean, it all just snowballed from one video, and then continuing to post just like engaging and like fun content, creative and explosive content. It just kind of kept growing like organically and pretty static. Like
just kept on like whoop. I think one thing that you had mentioned about, which is once you get all of these followers, all of a sudden now you have all these people, in your bank. What do you do? Once you have all these people, what do you do? A, to engage with them, but two, to keep them, on your, follow list, to keep following you.
So one of my biggest things, like throughout all of my social media career, would be like being very consistent. And so, I mean, like before I even had a lot of eyes on me, I'm like, well, I want to keep posting my content just because, like, for the original reason, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want my other friends to see what I'm training and stuff, because I like
Right.
to watch what my friends are doing too and, like,
Right.
get some cool creative ideas watching them. And so I just kept consistently posting, and then that just kept bringing in more and more numbers. And then I'm like, well, I need to consistently
Yeah.
post now. So I made sure I was consistently posting, consistently training, which also was good for me because it helped me continue to, like, hone in on skills
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
become a better athlete as it is. And so yeah, consistency was huge, and then engaging with the new followers is also, like, that was a big part of it too. Just making sure that I was replying to every comment and stuff, and, like, liking their comments when they're commenting, and just letting them know that, like, I am a real person, not just some
Yeah,
random
yeah.
internet dude, and
Yeah.
keeping the engagement with them also.
Oh,
Keeping the engagement with them,
you
like,
can give a little
retains them
love
as
tap,
well.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. You know, one of the things I think about is everybody kind of has all these different areas that they post that, you know, there's stories, there's your in feed posts, there's all different, you know, aspects. Like, how do you utilize your social media? What do you know, what kind of content are you posting, and how are you posting it to, you know, ensure that you're going to keep consistent, you're going to keep growing? Like, what is your focus there?
Main thing I do is, like, just not just consistently posting on one platform. So I'm making sure I'm posting on everything, and I try to diversify my content a bit. I mean, people come to see me do all the crazy power tumbling and all the tricking and stuff, of course. So I do that, and I try not to do the same thing all the time. I try to, like,
Yeah, yeah.
mix it up a little bit and keep it creative and fun, because people don't want to see me do, like, the same backflip in every video. You know, eventually it's going to get old. They're going to be like, I don't want to keep following this person. You know, it's the same thing another day. So I try to, you know, change up my training a little bit, or different scenery. So not always in a gym, sometimes at the beach, tumbling on sand, or jumping off of stuff into water, and tumbling on grass, concrete. And, like, well, I don't suggest doing the concrete route. It's very bad for your body. But, like, just, you know, switching up scenery, switching up some of the moves I'm doing, and then posting all this stuff, like, across everything. And then I also post a lot on, like, stories. And with stories, I post a lot more real diverse content. So it's like traveling.
Yeah.
I'm constantly traveling, so I'm posting, like, where am I going today, and, like, putting little quizzes in there to keep people, like, guessing what I'm doing, stuff like that. And so that, again, is also one that, like, keeps engagement and keeps people, you know, really wanting to see more and know more about my life, and it just makes it more of a steady and organic growth.
Nice. Yeah. You know, on that journey, was there any moments that come to your mind? Any times that were just big learning moments for you, where you're like, oh man, and I was like, you know, I know now to do this better, or, you know, was there any, like, moments like that come to mind?
Ooh, big learning. Well,
Because, I mean, you got all this knowledge now, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just been like you know, I mean, you're so regimented at this point. You know, were there any mistakes that you made, or was it always just like you knew exactly what to do, when to do it, you know, 100% of the time?
Okay, I got you. So not necessarily always knowing what to do, but it has been, like, a slow and steady growth. Like I said, like, I started it in 2011, and things started to blow up in 2015. So it's been almost 10 years since then.
Yeah, that's true.
And just kind of figuring out the rhythm of it all was the thing. And so there were no, like, big learning moments, but just, like, slowly and steadily realizing, like, be consistent, but I don't have to post every single day. I was doing that for a long time. I'm like, well, I could do every couple days, like every 2 or 3 days, you know, stuff like that. I used to not really post on my story that often, and now I try to always have a story up, just because, especially, like, nowadays, you can always see people's, like, little bubbles up above, and I want to keep my face up there so people keep clicking on it. And if there is nothing up there, then, you know.
Yeah.
So I try to just be consistent in making sure that I'm putting content on every little facet of each different platform.
Yeah, because it's like, I guess, you know, as someone that got where you are in some parts through virality, are you, you know, is your mindset thinking I've got to chase doing the you know, finding the next viral thing, or are you like, is that not worth, is that like, you know, because I feel like a lot of people are always trying to chase their big viral moment, but is that, like, you know, not sustainable? Is that even real? Like, what, like, how do you, you know, take that, you know, in your mind?
Some people are good at that. Most people that do try that, it doesn't necessarily work out, because at that point you are at the mercy of the internet. You're at the mercy of computers. Not even just all of the audience out there. It's like the algorithms work how they're going to work, and there isn't a surefire way to manipulate that, stuff like that. So, I mean, there are, like, a lot of fun ideas that I might have, and I'm like, oh, this could be a cool video, and I'm sure this will be, like, it'll get a lot of views and stuff, but I've never gone into it like, this is absolutely going to be a viral thing, because then if it's not, like, then what, you know? Because a lot of people do try to chase like that virality and stuff, and then when it doesn't work out for them, they get like all discouraged, and that's when
Right.
people start taking long breaks. And then if you take a long break and try to come back, normally it's not going to work out too
It's
well.
never the same.
And so for me, I've just always been, especially like with my first video that did go viral, it was not planned at all.
Right.
And so I knew from the get-go, I'm like, well, it is possible to go viral without trying too hard, without being super cringy or like trying to make a whole
Yeah.
new trend, stuff like that. It's just like be yourself and like be creative and do what you know is going to be like something fun for people to watch, and eventually something's going to catch on.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
so
wouldn't
true.
chase it every day.
Nice. I mean, especially, that brings me to the next good point is a lot of people, are trying to, get to places like you're at, if you had like like if I was somebody sitting here, well, in some ways I am, trying to get, that same success, what would you say are like some of the tips that you would give them to kind of like find that in themselves?
Kind of touching on all the things that I was talking about before, like consistency and engagement. You just be consistent with your posting and stuff. Make creative things, high quality stuff. A big thing that some people try to do is like post multiple times a day, which is okay, especially on certain platforms like TikTok. You can get away with that, but certain things like Instagram and other platforms, posting too many times a day will kind of like oversaturate, and then you're just kind of like thrown on the back burner. So be consistent and make sure that it's something true to you. So
Yeah.
like do something that you're actually liking
Right.
to do, because otherwise you're just going to get burnt out quick. So do all that and engage with people. Like that's a big one, is just make sure that you're letting your audience know that you are aware that they're there and that you are appreciative that they're actually watching your
Right.
stuff. That's a big thing, because a lot of people want to just, pump out a bunch of content and they're like, it's all flashy and this is going to be viral and all this, and they just let it be and they don't interact with anyone. And so they might get some followers and then they don't retain those followers because those people are going to drop off, because
Right.
they're like, this person doesn't even care that I'm here. And eventually content can get too cringy, and
Yeah.
when you're trying to post too much, you're running out of fun ideas and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So just don't overdo it,
Yeah.
you know. But your content's fun. Like it's fun.
Oh wow! Well,
I love-
thanks,
yeah,
man.
you
Yeah,
know, we
man.
gotta-
Hey, okay, we got a watcher
I wa-
right
yeah.
here. We got a fellow.
I wanna hang out with
Hey,
him
let
when
me
you-
engage with you. That
Yes.
so that's really great. Yeah, we really
We need to
appreciate
go out to
that.
eat.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You'll get it soon. Pop ups with me and Dom.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, no, that's fantastic. Before we hop into our special segment, I thought I'd give a little quick last question, which is, you are very niche, and you've dived into that niche. Do you recommend people also follow their own niches, or do you think it's better to kind of stay more general?
I think that it is a good idea to have a niche and stick with it, but be adapting to it and innovative in that niche. Because if you are in like with mine, it is very specific. And there are tons of other athletes out there that are doing like somewhat similar stuff. So I try to find ways to innovate and change things in the like athletic realm that I'm in. And that's something that's important, I think, to get more people's eyes on what you're doing as well. Because as I am in this niche, there are tons of other people out there in the world now who know what tricking is and tumbling is, because they see my content randomly out there, because I'm not doing like the same thing that everyone else is doing, where like everyone in the sport knows already. So it is good to have a niche, but be diverse within that niche, and
Right.
that's where you'll really stand out.
Yeah, awesome. Love that. Cool. Well, can't say it better myself. Are we good to go to the special segment? All right, special segment.
Uh-oh.
No, I mean we'll come up with something better than that. We'll work on that. We'll workshop that. All right, so Dom, you are some might say a social media guru, in your aspect. So we've got some hot takes. I'm going to introduce this in two ways. So we got some hot takes that we're going to read to you, and we want you to tell us if they're hot or not and why.
Hot or not?
And so that's what we're going for, hot or not, So, you're not dating it yet, so, on any of these things, so it's not like that. But we're just going to get you more to answer from a perspective of whether you think these are good takes or not.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to redo that intro at the end, though, so in case we have another, because I will tell you about these more in specific after. But first, so Dom, the first take. All right. Daily posters are clueless. Posting every day is the fastest way to turn your followers into scroll passers. Quality is the new quantity. get it right, or get unfollowed?
Ooh, that's pretty hot, actually.
Oh, shit. Okay, we got a hot take in here. Hot dang.
Yeah. Quality over quantity is huge. Because as I had touched on before, like if you are posting daily, but it's the same thing every day, people get sick of it, you know? So you want to diversify it a bit. And I know I keep using that word a lot, but I do mean that. Like you want to change up the content, even if it's a little bit, it'll keep people wanting to see more. Yeah. They don't want to see the same thing every day.
Yeah. Love it. Perfect. Okay. Ready for the next one. The next one is chasing followers is child's play. If your self-worth is tied to your follower count, it's time for a reality check. Metrics that don't tie back to business goals are useless.
That's pretty hot too, you know?
Oh, man. We're getting hotter and hotter in here. Hot dang,
so,
hotter on the collar.
That is something that is a lot of people equate their like self-worth to the amount of followers they have, stuff like that, and that's just not a reasonable thing. You have all these people out here in the world that are watching stuff, you know, and there's so much other content out there, and it's like too many people nowadays, especially like younger people, and this is what makes me like, I love social media, but there is the good and the bad, and that's one of the downfalls is that nowadays, since everyone has a phone in their hand, especially younger people, they're equating their worth to the amount of people that are seeing their stuff, and it's like there's a whole real world out there, and you're going to be working like a real job, and like you're going to be doing real world things, so like focus on that, and like when you use the word like business, I think, or business. And like you can turn it into a brand like I have and stuff like that, where like take it more of the business route, and like create, you know, worthwhile things and have quality stuff, but don't put it where your like whole life's worth is who you are on social media, because there's a whole life being lived outside of that.
Exactly. Love it. Okay, next one is MySpace is the best social media app to ever been created.
I agree. Hot take.
Yeah. Hot take, baby. Hot take. Dude, that's the pinnacle. The zenith was made. When was that?
I'm
2000.
Telling you, Tom knew what he was doing.
Tom was out there. Tom was out there. He made it.
He did. And like, well, when MySpace tried to make a comeback, that's a little different. But original MySpace had everyone in a chokehold. Like
that's
that.
Right.
Everyone,
right.
Dude, MySpace. Like you could have your own music on there.
It was your space.
It was your space, your own music, and you could change your whole layout. And like, you could have a top 8, and when you and your best friend have an argument, you're number 2 now.
Oh,
and like,
yeah, that's right.
Man.
You had the rankings.
Yes,
you know, you could rank. Man, that was the pinnacle of what hot or not is all about.
Dude,
you know,
MySpace was.
That was
I miss those days.
Those
Life
were the
was
days,
simple, man.
Man, these kids don't know what they're missing out. You know. Okay. Here we go. Podcasts crush blogs. If you're not in the audio game, you might as well be handing out flyers on the street. People want to hear you, not read your 500-word essay.
Ooh. I'd say that is a pretty hot take, you know. I myself, I do listen to podcasts, but I also like to read, and I get some people like to listen to stuff.
Yeah.
And they'd much rather do that or see things. So they want to like watch these people talk. And some people like to just sit and read. And I get that. And like, that's one where it'd be like, that definitely depends on the person, but podcasts are definitely like the big thing now, for real. Because again, you are seeing people and you are like, if it's not a visual podcast, you're hearing people.
Yeah.
And so that makes it almost seem a little more engaging because there is the actual tone in there, stuff like that. Whereas like a blog, you do just kind of read the words and it can get a little boring. But again, some people, that's how they like to view things, is sit and scroll and read.
So it's kind of like a mid take.
Yeah, that's mid. There we
that's
go.
Mid, baby. All right, we can bring it in the lingo, baby. Okay, so then let's see. This is one I'm curious about. Go live or go home. Live streaming is no longer optional. You're either real-time relevant or you're yesterday's news.
That is a hot take. Now, I will say, I myself do not go live that often.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is why.
Okay.
I am very busy other than, like, my social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not, like, sitting on my phone, like, either posting or replying to comments or, like, scheduling out content, stuff like that, I'm doing a lot of other stuff. And like working on my brand, or just like I'm on a plane, or there's always other things going on. So I don't, I mean, that it's not necessarily a good excuse, but I don't always have the most time to live stream. Now, live streaming right now is like super valuable though. And this is what's nuts. Like I I don't really watch many live streams, but when I go home to visit my family, my mom is sitting on TikTok and she has certain creators that she's watching their live streams every day. She's like, so and so is doing this. And, like, so I mean, they're getting the moms
That's what I'm
involved,
saying.
all right? So
when you get the moms,
I'm telling
you got the audience right there.
No, yeah, like and it's
They're
like
the
younger
key.
creators, and my mom's
Yeah.
sitting there like, oh, there's all this drama and all that. Like,
Oh, my
they're
goodness.
definitely live streaming's huge.
Your
it
mom's
really
with
is.
it. Your mom's in it.
She is.
She's deep
yeah,
in there.
she's in there.
Oh,
You know,
Okay, we get mom on the podcast maybe next time. We'll
Oh, Lord,
bring in
that'll-
guest of a guest. You know what I'm saying?
that'll be a treat. She's
I
wild.
love it. I love it. I'm just gonna keep going until Keith tells me to stop. Oh, I had so many good ones now. Okay.
Pick your
one
favorite.
more.
Pick your favorite.
I don't even know. Let's see.
Something where he would say it's not hot.
These are all hot. I was hoping the MySpace one wouldn't be that hot.
Oh no, dude, I'm a
That-
big
that's
MySpace
hot.
fan.
That's a big. I mean, I knew that was coming. I'm just gonna say this one. Haters don't even qualify as white noise. Your growth isn't slowed by haters. It's slowed by you listening to them. They're not even a distraction. They're a non-factor.
Hot. I agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. I like no matter what, it comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
That's how social media is. There's the good and the bad, and there will be haters no matter what. And that's something that you're gonna have to learn to live with, and we're all gonna go through it. And just like the biggest thing to do is just ignore them, brush
Yeah.
it off, don't give them the time of day. It's people that are normally just like not too happy with themselves, and that's why they're sitting on their phone saying mean things to other people.
Yeah.
So just kind of brush it off, let it be. And if it's like something super bad, like really inappropriate, stuff like that, I mean, you can always just block somebody and
Yeah.
just go on about your day and they're gone for good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like don't give the people a time of day.
Yeah. And don't give hate, just,
And yeah, just
it's
don't
all
hate
love,
on people.
man.
Yeah,
You know,
just-
like, what's up with that? I love that. Well, fantastic, man, dude. I feel like we should have just had a whole segment about this. I just want to get your takes on all of these. Well, thank you so much, Dom. Where can we find you on social media? What channels can we hit you up at?
If you look at any social media across the board, if you look up Domitrick, Dom I Trick, right here on the shirt, you
Right
will
there.
find me anywhere. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, all the platforms. Well,
Wow.
I don't have a Twitter though, so not there, but everywhere else.
No X.
No,
No
oh,
X
yeah, it's
on
X
here.
now.
No X. No Twitter.
Yeah,
Not
I'm-
the X. Yeah.
I've never been one of those people, so
Yeah, X gonna get you. So you gotta watch out.
X gonna give it to you. R.I.P.
All right, man. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on Make Marketing Make Sense, and we'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you, Dom.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
This has been Make Marketing Make Sense, brought to you by ComfyStone. If you need video content for social media, your website, or email marketing, hit up ComfyStone at comfystone.com and follow ComfyStone on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.